Hello, YouTube. It's April 2nd, 2022, 7:03 a.m. And yeah, I've been trying to sleep and restless, can't sleep. This is why I don't want to be here in this apartment uh, with Priscilla anymore. Um, her alarm on her iPhone just went off, so wherever she's gone, she hasn't brought her iPhone with her, which is kind of fucked up. Um, yeah, after 7 in the morning, uh, Saturday morning, and she's still not home again, which I guess explains why when I came home Thursday night that she was okay with touching on me and touching me, but doesn't want to have sex with me. Obviously, she's spending the night with someone else. So I don't know. I don't know what to fucking think about it, and I don't even know why I'm making more videos about it. It's just fucking frustrating. I have no idea where she's at, but yeah. Just goes out, spends the night with whoever. Um, I don't know. I think the time has come for me to take legal action to get her the fuck out of my apartment. Because obviously she's got no. She actually had the audacity to ask me when she was kind of coming on to me and holding me and making out with me Thursday night if I loved her. And I said yes, and there's a part of me that does, but anyway, she wasn't about. Apparently, wasn't about that part of me. Well, she sure touched it a lot. Anyway, it's clear she doesn't fucking love or care about me, you know, or care about my feelings. I just need to get her the fuck out of my apartment. Kind of irritated when I left. When I left, when I left for Portland, the air conditioning wasn't working, and I was thinking maybe, just maybe, being here last week without air conditioning might be enough to motivate her to get into her own damn place. But she talked to the guy mowing the lawn, who apparently talked to the landlord, or talked to the AC guy or whatever, but um, got them to come and fix the air conditioning, which is pretty fucked up because she's not on the lease, so she shouldn't even have the capacity to get that handled. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm kind of glad now that I'm back home that I've got air conditioning, but um, yeah, she's not on the lease. She has no right or authority to be talking to anyone like that. And of course, it's the second of the month, and I still haven't got any contribution towards bills. Uh, a week and a half ago, she was saying, weeks ago, she was saying that she would pay the gas bill. Actually, it's been over a month since she said she'd pay the gas bill. She's the only one who really uses it. I don't, I haven't been turning on the heat, and I don't cook. And she, yeah, she, she hasn't. And when I told her that my Zelle wasn't working because of the deal with my phone, that she said, "Oh, I'll just pay that to you in PayPal." And I gave her the amounts, but nah, she still hasn't paid it in PayPal. And on Thursday, she sent an email to me saying, "Well, you don't communicate with me, blah blah blah." Um, Hang on, let me get the Let's tap my other phone. I'll read the emails. I'll read the emails because last one I didn't. I tried to respond and was too busy running my show that I wasn't able to. So busy running my karaoke show at Bullock's that I wasn't able to send the last response I was starting. Oh, come on. Let me into the goddamn phone. I missed my iPhone where all I had to do was just touch the home button with my thumb and I was logged in. So hang on, I'm not nearly as quick and efficient with these stupid ass Androids as I am with my iPhone. I'm into my Gmail now, though. So. Yeah, she wrote on 31st. I don't came in while I had already started my show. This wrote, how is this supposed to happen if you're not around? And how is this supposed to happen if you're not around? He says he doesn't want to be around you if he can't touch. Fuck you. You're not. I'm thinking she probably copied and pasted the he doesn't want part from a message from my daughter. Um, says, you not being here, not providing me with an adequate way of communicating with you isn't resolving the situation. Per usual, it's just leaving me with making assumptions. The assumption that you just want to duck me as well as other people. Leaving me to assume that of I do a condom definitely is warranted. Per usual, I'm not going to receive a response, which creates more of a vicious cycle. Out of you do, the response will be stated completely laced with anger. Do you realize that's what is pushing me away? God, her unintelligible grammar is what's pushing me away. Just reading that, holy fuck. Anyway, I responded to that pretty quickly. I responded with, I'm still waiting for you to PayPal me the gas bill for the last 2 months. Sometimes you just got to be direct and straightforward, with things that matter. That's all I responded to that with. Otherwise, I would have probably just told her that she needed to retype her word salad because I can't fucking make heads or tails of the ridiculous bad grammar. And what's her deal with ducks? Um, she responded to that with not happening until you come talk to me. And the response that I typed but didn't finish, so it's still here as a draft, says, I really have nothing left to say. When I'm around you, I'm suicidal. And that feeling goes away when I'm elsewhere. Should have just hit send at that point. I thought I had more to add to that, but I don't know. Busy running my karaoke show that she neither attends nor supports. So anyway, I can hear her alarm going off in the living room, which is irritating. I just want her gone at this point. I don't know, the way she was touching me when I got home, I thought maybe I was still wanted and appreciated, but no, she just, you know, rather than finishing, she she's like, well, I need to go to sleep, and yeah, I've just been fucking restless and unable to sleep right since, and I got home at around 11, let's say about 11 o'clock. I was thinking about going out and singing some karaoke last night, but I was running on probably 2 hours of sleep because, oh, let me go to, I don't want to have sex with you because I need to get some sleep. Bitch, you've been in my room for like an hour plus. And the fact that you were awake when I got home at 3 in the morning tells me that you're full of bullshit and fucking sleep wasn't even a priority for you, or you'd have already been asleep. Making sure you don't give me sex is clearly your fucking priority. Because yeah, because that's left me all fucking horned up and just didn't follow through. You know, it's been fucking months now. Um, yeah, and great she can go to sleep like that. Apparently, that has satisfies her, gets her off, gets her to sleep. Meanwhile, I went in my room and couldn't fucking sleep because of it. And would go to sleep and couldn't sleep for more than, an hour straight. Would wake back up. Eventually, I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, so just try to get things done. And I did get things done yesterday. Got my storage paid for. I got it back on a credit card auto pay, and I got enough income that I'm not concerned about that not working out. So that's a good thing. That'll save me having to go to my storage every month um, to deal with payment. I looked again at how much I'm paying every month, and I really should try to whittle that storage down. I mean, it's one thing when I make money selling stuff out of it, but lately I'm not even selling enough stuff out of it to to pay for what it costs for me to maintain the space. I mean, no, not last month, but the month before, I did sell 2 guitar amps, and it more than covered the 1 month, but I don't think it covered 2 months. So back in the red on that shit again. Um, but it's I don't know. It's important. It's something important that I got done. Um, and then I did eventually made it to. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it. When I rode the Route 32 over to Camelback Road, and then I got off that bus and I showed in the video. Of course, it's hard to see because I was using the fucking First Avaba phone, which is wretched. But there was a bus sitting there in front of me, just camped out, that was marked as not in service, bus 5150. And sure as shit, like in the time I had to walk a half mile to get to the stop where the 60 stops. And then um and then it starts. I mean, where the 60 starts. And then I caught that and I had a really nice conversation with an older woman on the bus most of the way. Um, an old lady's retired, or well, she works, but she's on a really low income, and was talking about like what she's paying in rent and her rent going up, and that's a real thing in Phoenix. People that are with low income jobs, it's a real struggle to pay rent, and I can see her. I mean, this woman was probably about in her. I would guess she's in her late 60s. I could see her not wanting to have a roommate. No adult at that age wants to have a fucking roommate just to be able to pay rent. Give me a break. But I hope things work out for her. It was a great conversation I had with her. But kind of irritating that, I got off that bus stop and there's a bus and it stopped. And why, when that bus has to drive from there to it drives south on 28th Street to Campbell. Then it turns right on Campbell to 24th Street. And then it turns right on 24th Street and goes to Camelback, turns left. And then that's its first stop as a Route 60. Now, that's where the bus dropped me off on the 32. Now, I had thought that the bus I was on would continue, eventually continue on, but apparently it continued on elsewhere. And I didn't track that in the app. Maybe should have. But I did track that what was going on there, and I saw, 60 leave from there and come to me. And it ended up being the bus that I saw when I got off. Now, if that already is a bus stop, so why can't the Route 60 actually start from there? That way, if I'm on the 32, I mean, if they're not going to make the 32 and the 60 into one contiguous route, which to me seems like the obvious thing to do, I understand the bus drivers need breaks. I get that. But why can't that stop be where that 60 starts? Why couldn't I have just walked onto that other bus that was sitting there camped out at that stop? and sat on it and then waited for it to leave as a Route 60. Why did I have to walk a half fucking mile to get to my bus? Why is the system so dysfunctional here? Anyway, it, I wish I'd have got more done at Bullocks. Like I said, I got my equipment broke down and I only added one song and I don't even remember what it was, but it's something that's not likely to get sang very often. But I split a pizza with a guy who was getting this guy I sat down with. I was sitting down because I was wanted to ask Heather, the bartender, if there were still tacos, which generally that ends at 5, so the odds of it there still being tacos at a little after 6 was not so good. It was like 6:15 when I got there, but there was a guy sitting next to me at the bar, and we got into a conversation about he he also doesn't drive, so we got into a conversation about public transportation and how I just got back from Portland and how much better it was there. And he was talking about how he'd gone up to Seattle and he was thinking about coming down to Portland and had looked at the public transit because he was going to take the Amtrak down. He looked at the public transit and saw what a good system it was. And he said in Portland, or in Seattle, it's also just as good. And then he was talking about how he was from New York City. And I was telling him about how just it was dysfunctional for me, and it took me so long to get to the bar to try to run a couple errands and then get to the bar that day to pick up my stuff, and there were just buses were massively late, and it's like, why the hell can't this city figure out the solution to that is to have bus lanes, and that in Portland that the buses are on time because they're in their own lane, so they're not stuck in traffic. And he said the same thing, that in New York City, same thing. The buses are on time because they're in their own lane. But yeah, that thing yesterday with 3 buses back to back going down 16th Street, that was absolutely insane. And that bus approaching me, I got a screenshot of it. It was 50, damn near an hour late. And I mean, the fact that there's 2 16s running next to each other when that's an every half-hour bus is just insanity. Anyway, so frustrated with riding the bus, so frustrated with trying to, after all of the time consumed in and riding a bus. Oh, and of course I was so tired because I didn't sleep well last night because of the whole Priscilla thing. Um, yeah, when I left Bullocks, I was thinking about, because I did that little short video when I was headed to the Route 60, which showed up pretty quick. Um, I was thinking maybe I could do the 60 to the 32 again, in the opposite direction, uh, to go over to the Hideaway. But I checked the schedule and there wasn't going to be enough time with as late as that 60 was running. And the 32, it looked like it was already sitting there camping, just waiting to go uh, at 36th and Camelback. So, yeah, anyway, there wasn't, as late as my 60 was running, there wasn't going to be enough time to walk that half mile. I don't understand why you have to walk that half mile to connect those buses. Why don't those buses connect? Why can't the city figure out how to use functional transit centers where you can connect from multiple routes to multiple routes? Why can't they figure that out here? Because it works so good in Portland. Um, yeah, um, Biltmore is a concentrated enough area. It would make sense for there to be a transit center there, even though there's not light rail over there. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so that wasn't going to work. Time out. So I ended up, when I got to the transit center, ironically, at Christown, um, there was a 15 South that was waiting there, which I thought I could take over to